Lesson number 8, the deeper the feeling, the greater the pain. This was lesson number 8 and the harshest experience that I had to go through on this journey. I'll always remember it very clearly because of the situation I was in and the time of year that it was. So like I said in the previous video, we're coming up to Christmas time now. It's the gym Christmas night out, and I always remember thinking to myself before this night out, you know what, even if you pack the gym in going into next year, at least you had a 12-month run at it, you had summertime, you had a Christmas do out of it, it's still not a bad thing. So it's the Christmas night out, me and my girlfriend are getting ready before we're due to go downtown and meet the rest of the members downtown for drinks and food. And my phone's ringing, it's a phone call off my mum. Now this is about 6 PM at night on a Saturday night, but it's a bit unusual for my mum to be ringing at this time. I just had a feeling even then something might not be quite right with this phone call. I pick up the phone to my mum and unfortunately she passes me the sad news on that my uncle has passed away. So just to put things into perspective, I've got quite a large family, you know, on that side of things. My uncle's my dad's brother, and on my dad's side alone, you know, he's one of 9, my dad, okay, so he had 5 brothers and 3 sisters. And out of that large family unit, I've also got my mum's side as well. She was one of 4, 2 sisters and 1 brother. Out of that kind of large family unit, the uncle who I just found out passed away, my Uncle Peter, he was one of the ones I was closer to out of that bunch, okay? So obviously it really hit me hard when I got the news. You don't realise at the time, especially when it hits you unexpectedly, how it's going to affect you going forward. You may be thinking what this is. Some of you may know what it is. It's an old school piece of gym kit. It's called a bull bar. Now this is the first bit of kit that I ever got in regards to gym equipment. It was given to me by my Uncle Peter, who I just found out unfortunately passed away way back when I was 16. You know, I'm looking to join the army after school. I'm relatively fit, you know, I can run all day long, press-ups, pull-ups, sit-ups, can do them all day long as well, but I'm not very strong, I'm not very muscular. Now my uncle used to lift weights back in the day, so he had a bit of muscle to him. He knew what a bit of training was about, so I went to him for advice, and that was the first bit of gym kit that I ever got given to him. Now, it's not worth very much, but it means a lot to me. That's why after all them years, I've kept that bit of gym kit there just for the sentimental value. And I always knew I'd do a video of it one day because that was part of my first ever training routine, if you like, okay. I used to do my run for the army, I used to get back, do my press-ups, sit-ups, pull-ups, and I used to get on the bull bar there. And to be fair, as a young lad who's not got much muscle to him, it worked. It helped me gain a bit of muscle before I joined the army. But it was all thanks to my Uncle Peter, who gave me the advice and gave me that little bit of kit. So back to the gym situation, I went on the Christmas night out. I thought, you know, it's just the best thing to do rather than sit at home alone or with my girlfriend. You know, it's just going to kind of maybe play in your mind even more. I thought, just go out, see the members, you know, don't speak about it and just, you know, try and have a good night the best you can. But obviously it's always in the back of your mind there when you're out. And obviously you wake up the next day, it hits you even more. Back to the gym situation, I'm looking at this unit what's a few miles down the road. The landlord had replied to me of this unit on the Friday saying there's no asbestos in these sheets, you're good to move in. But then obviously after hearing about the death of my uncle, I knew then going forward the next few weeks I weren't going to be in a great headspace. My plan was to get the Christmas night out done out the way, then come Monday, sign for this new unit, get to work then over Christmas, New Year, you know, painting, getting the kit and stuff like that, ready to rock then come the start of January. But I knew then after, you know, the death of my uncle, I weren't going to be in a good space to do this, so I decided not to go ahead with this unit. So we're heading into the new year now, and obviously I'm not in a good headspace. My uncle's funeral is in a few days' time, and as you may know yourselves, when you go to a funeral, that's when things do hit home. You realise it's kind of like the last goodbye. You're never going to see this person that you love once again. And with the gym, you know, I'm still stuck in these containers. I'm saying to myself with the gym, give it 2 or 3 more months tops in these containers. If nothing else, no other units come in between then, or you can't move back in the gym. After 3 months, I'm just going to have to jack it all in. So it's the day of my uncle's funeral, obviously a day of feeling very sad. You know, that's when things, like I said, really hit home. You're never going to see this person again. And you look back on all the fond memories you're having. It's then when you realise how many memories you do have of these people. So make the most of it when they're alive. But I go to the funeral. Now, my other uncle, who I'm very close to on this side of the family, he's wrote the words kind of for my uncle's funeral. Now, my granddad from this side of the family, their dad, I never really got to know him. He died when I was younger. but he had some stories that I wish I could have asked him questions about back then. But my uncle has wrote these verses, and there's a couple of lines what hit me and really stuck out. Now, he wrote them as if my granddad was saying them. These were my granddad's sayings. I can't remember the verse exactly, but I remember these lines. One was my granddad said, never give up. And then the other one was, birds of a feather flock together. I'm going to talk about these two lines that I've just heard at my uncle's funeral that have really hit home at me. They don't only go into your ears, go into your mind. You literally feel it in your body. It's like feeling it in your soul. It felt like it was my granddad speaking to me in real life. Number one, never give up. You know, after what my granddad and grandma had been through on that side of the family, and even my uncle who just passed away from that matter, you know, he had his own story, his own challenges as well. How could I give up just because of the circumstances I was in? There are some circumstances were a lot tougher than mine. I'm not going to give up now after hearing them words just because of this bother that I'm in. Number two, birds of a feather flock together. Now, I could just completely get a different unit in a different part, what's available, you know, move a few miles out of town, work to wherever it may be, and just get the kit in, you know, start all again, hoping rebuild new members up. But, you know, after hearing these words, birds of a feather flock together, I didn't want to do that. Why I think that resonated with me as well is that I wanted to take the members with me who supported me over the years and during these tough times. As my granddad said, never give up, birds of a feather flock together. That was the attitude I was going to take into me with the new year in regards to the gym as well.
Thank you for watching this video, and don't forget to like and subscribe.
Join me for lesson number 9. He who dares wins.